6:30, so we're going to start tonight's meeting. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded by Marshfield Community Media, no longer television, and we may take the action items in a different order than they appear on the agenda. And again, if anyone's here for our public hearing at 6:50 for the Green Harbor Beach petition, just make sure you sign in on the clipboard. Just put your name and address if you guys plan on speaking. All right, so we're going to take an action item out of order. We're going to do we'll do the town administrator's report and the COVID-19 testing clinic update. Michael,
Okay,
please.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I had my weekly meeting with PMA on the police project and DPW project. Went over the issue with the AC and the VAB boxes. We talked about landscaping, demolition of the old police station, the parking lot and parking. DPW, we're planning on the building coming in 4 pieces, which will come sometime in August, and we're waiting. We're at the mercy of Eversource to get the telephone pole installed down by the new building. FY22 budget closeout meeting with Ann Bastille and Lisa Clark, our treasurer collector. Had a meeting with Bill Grafting on some funding requests for his stenographer and his airport consultant. I had a meeting with Heidi Conway on returning her service, coming back to the ZBA, meeting with Kerry Richardson on Chandler Pond issue and South River, including the removal of the dam at Pudding Hill. I had a meeting with Matt Parent, update on PV project approvals. NextGrid notified us that the following projects can move forward: the Amesway School, the Martinson School, South River, Governor Winslow, the Senior Center, wastewater treatment plant, Daniel Webster, and Martinson Roof Project. So that's all exciting news when it comes to photovoltaics. Plymouth County was here, presented the town with their final installment of the CARES Act money, $962,562.98. And Lisa Clark, our treasurer collector, quickly put that right into the bank. I don't want to lose any interest on that. Within minutes, she's out of here to deposit it. I had a meeting with Sandra Hayes from Brant Rock, talk about seawall issues as it relates to people's porches, and now that the seawall's done. I had a meeting with Dave Carey, a DPW issue on a tree that came down at 35 Winslow Street. Had a meeting with Greg Guimont, our planner, regarding our housing production plan and the types of housing and a potential housing symposium that I'll present to the board at the next meeting. PMA meeting on the AC issue with the new police station, and we have a resolution. We found what the problem was. The manufacturer's specs for the Dakin air conditioning system said one thing, the installation of the system said another. So long and short, there was 38 pounds of additional Freon, which caused the system not to balance appropriately and the VAV boxes to shut down. That's been resolved since last week, so far we've had no issues. We'll keep our fingers crossed. We had a meeting on the flag ceremony for 9/11. Boys and Girls Club, it's the, people may have heard of it, it's the 9/11 flag. We're going to do a program with them on 9/11, which this year happens to be a Sunday. We'll do it at 12 noon at the Boys and Girls Club. And we're actually going to be reading the 65 names of people from Massachusetts that actually perished when the towers came down. So more information to follow on that. Had my meeting with Fred Russo, facilities department head, to talk about some school projects that they're working on over the summer, some additional GAR hall renovation that needs to be done, some fire station issues, the comfort station roof, the town hall project that will be kicking off, and continuation of the capital projects. Meeting with planning and the Woods Hole Group and Joe Flood Rossi on our wetland protection bylaw, floodplain zoning, building elevation, a setback from the seawalls, and development of a flood warning system, which is basically a reverse 911, and Dyke Road alterations using federal funds. Had a meeting with Dan and Lisa on final review of the FY22 closeouts, which will be voted on tonight by the Board of Selectmen and tomorrow by the Advisory Board. Final walkthrough at the fairgrounds for the Levitate concert. Meeting with Scout Troop 424 at the Boys and Girls Club for a review, and they have an item on the agenda that they're hoping the board will support for their fundraising initiative. I've also been working with the Recreation Department on the concert in the Town Green, which will take place this Sunday, July 17th from 5 to 7. It is a family concert, and also working with David Irons we're writing the protocols. We're going to be starting to administer COVID vaccine to 5-year-olds and up once our protocols have been accepted. And finally, working with the Molly Fund on the free family movies, Molly Mania, on Friday, July 15th on the Town Green, and August 12th on the Town Green. On the 15th, they're showing Clifford, the Big Red Dog, and August 12th in Kanto. So people can mark their calendars if they want to come and see those movies. Great take-in. That is my report, Mr. Chairman. And if you'd like quickly, the clinic, we're up to 1,352 shots here at Town Hall. Since we've been operating, we're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 to 3, by appointment or walk-in, and within the next 2 weeks, we'll begin to administer COVID to 5-year-olds and
Awesome.
up. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
None, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so we're going to take item number 17 out of order. Today is your lucky day. So it's an application for an annual common vic license for Pelican Snowballs. All your paperwork is in order. So we usually have an audience this big, so if you wanted to give your pitch, you're more than welcome to, but you don't have to.
Introduce myself, everyone. Hello. My name is Jean-Francois. I go by the name of Gino. This is my wife and partner and slash boss, Michelle. We moved to Marshfield about a year ago, and I have my son. He's not here right now. He's playing at Cohasset in Hanover. Hopefully he wins. It was our idea to bring Pelicans over to Marshfield. We had multiple locations, but we figured Marshfield would be the best. We think it'll be a good fit for the town. It's going to be for the families. It's going to be for all the children. We'll be selling shaved New Orleans flavored ice. We'll have 100 flavors. Hopefully the folks like it, and the first responders will come in. And I'm a paramedic. Been a paramedic for 15 years, and I can, I have no problem showing support to my fellow first responders. All right? Thank you. All right.
Well, you certainly know how to work a room, and welcome to Marshfield, and we hope you're very successful.
That was well done.
Don't talk. I was like, all right.
Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
The only comment was 100 flavors?
You know what? Guess what? It's 105.
I'm good with 100. I was impressed with 100.
Well, this is the special kick. We'll be able to design 5 special flavors. One's going to be designed dedicated to McDonough Haven. I'm not sure if you know the McDonough family. And also Nico, who is a friend of my son in Fernsbrook. He's a good kid, love the energy. I said, Nico, we're going to design flavors for you one day. So we have 3 other flavors that we have to create. We have to figure out how to select. Is it going to be based on the Fernsbrook Middle School, the high school, the police department? We have 3 open spots that we have to decide what flavor, who we're going to dedicate it to. So just to put it out there.
I have no further comments. Seems like if I do, he doesn't have to work a room.
Yeah, did you say you have 3 openings for names?
It has to get cleared by the
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah.
No more questions.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I can't up that, so good luck and welcome to Marshfield.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve a common vic license for J Harmony Invest Group, LLC, owner Jean Francois and Jean Louise, DBA Pelican Snowballs, to be located at 17 Dyke Road, opening on July 24th, 2022, with daily operation from 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Monday through Sunday, pending Board of Health inspection and the building department sign-off. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Good luck.
Perfect.
Yep. Wish you success.
All right. Next up, we can take care of our friend Vicky and Billy. So we'll do, let's see. We'll jump to number 4, which is a discussion vote on an appointment for our animal inspector, Lieutenant William Sullivan. Well, Billy, the floor is yours, and you as well, Chief. You can handle it.
Thank you. Just quickly, I'm looking forward to new responsibilities of this position. It's an important position. I've been supervising the Animal Control Department for 10 years now. And I think I'll be a good addition to this. The state requires that every municipality has at least 1 animal inspector. We currently have 1. If I'm nominated, we will have 2. This is 100 plus barn inspections per year, quarantining of every single animal that's bitten for rabies exposure.
Awesome. Thanks, Billy. I know historically we had two with Griffin and Courtney, so now that Griffin retired after many years of hard work, Courtney's now our ACO, so we're looking to have a second person just to kind of cover ourselves, so that's why we're looking to appoint you.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I was just shocked that we have that heavy a workload, so I do appreciate you stepping forward for it.
No problem. Looking forward to it.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, welcome aboard for
Thank you.
another important job.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve Lieutenant William Sullivan as the animal inspector for the town of Marshfield. Is there a second?
I would second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Congratulations.
service.
All right, we can do number 5 next. We have two folks who made very generous donations to the animal shelter. We have Ruth and David Brown are donating $250. Stack Sports is donating $600, and then the Massachusetts Animal Coalition is donating $2,000. So you guys do so much great work, Vicky. So we appreciate the donations. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not. I'll just say, anyone that volunteers to the town like that, money or time, we very much appreciate, so thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Nope, all set, thank you.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept donations on behalf of the Marshfield Animal Shelter from Ruth and David Brown of Marshfield in the amount of $250, Stack Sports in the amount of $600, and from the Massachusetts Animal Coalition in the amount of $2,000. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and then next up is action item number 6 for the animal shelter. Basically just looking for an entertainment license for some fundraisers that you guys are going to be having at Wrexham Beach in the parking lot. So all your paperwork is in order. I know this is kind of a regular thing that you guys do, so just looking to kind of, check the boxes on this one. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I've been to the one at Danny Webster. I would welcome and encourage anybody to attend these. They're really fun.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I see there's no food service. I don't know whether or not Cindy is going to do that snack bar, but that would help them as well, so, yeah.
Cindy said she would keep the snack bar open.
Okay,
Awesome.
all right, great, thank you.
All right, and thank you, Cindy. Appreciate it. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the entertainment license for the Friends of the Marshfield Animal Shelter, Inc. Victoria Lynch, President and Treasurer, with an office located at 40 Weston Farm Path for 2 events at the Wrexham Beach parking lot for Saturday, July 16th, 2022, and Saturday, August 13th, 2022, both with hours of operation from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., with rain dates of Friday, July 15th, 2022, and Saturday, August 27th, 2022, both with the hours of 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we can tackle number 7, which is a discussion vote on an application for a temporary entertainment license for the Marshfield Community Rib Cook-Off. That's a great event that I look forward to at the fairgrounds every single year. It's always gone off without a hitch, and all the paperwork appears to be in order. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Look forward to it.
All
Nope.
right, likewise. All right, so let's see. I'll make a motion to approve the request for an entertainment license for Stephen Halko Sheehan for the annual Marshfield Community Rib Cook-Off that will take place at the Marshfield Fairgrounds, located at 142 Main Street, on September 10th, 2022, from noon until 6 p.m. Is there a second?
I'll second that. I'm putting it in my calendar as well.
Yeah, right. We should have held it off until we got, one of the judgeships awarded to us. All right, sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, perfect. All right, so unfortunately for appointments, we have to wait till it's the exact time on the dot. So I promise that we will get to Green Harbor at 6:50, and just at 6:45, we just have a change of manager application for the Marshfield VFW. All right, so we can do number 9 next, just staying in sequential order. So it's a discussion and vote on a request to use the town hall lawn, and that's from the Recreation Department. Michael, do you want a quick rundown on that one?
Yes, so that is, they're gonna have a family fun concert with, Knock on Wood, Howie Newman and the Knock on Wood group. There's supposed to be a fantastic, family-friendly music. Will take place, on the town green from 5 to 7 p.m. Will be a great take-in. And, the rec department will be selling water and candy and, popcorn for snacks.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Michael. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the request. Oh, sorry, Jamie, do you have any questions or comments?
I do not, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the request of the Recreation Department to hold a free family summer concert on the town green on Sunday, July 17th, 2022, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the name of the group performing is Knock on Wood. Howie Newman. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we're at 6:45. So we're going to go ahead and tackle the approval for the change of manager. And basically, what they're looking to do is change the manager at the Marshfield VFW from Douglas Brown to Karen Eilerston. So, is anyone from the VFW in the audience? Perfect.
I'm actually Karen, trying to become the bar manager. Live in Plymouth. I've been working for Plymouth VFW between cleaning, function manager, regular manager. I never became the bar manager, and then I was asked to take this over when I'm now the bartender at Marshfield for the last, year and a half. And
Yes, Chairman.
Doug is not doing 100%, so.
You need to read the letter.
Public hearing notice.
Public hearing. And if we could just ask you folks to come up to the table, that'd be great.
I am the quartermaster treasurer of the VFW.
Sure. And we just need to quickly read the public hearing notice.
It's just the
And
letter.
then
Just the letter, yeah.
just the letter?
Yep, that letter, yep.
Perfect. All right. So let's read that very quickly, and we'll get right back to you guys.
You got it?
I don't see it. If you have it.
you go.
Oh, thank you very much, Jim. All right, so just a copy of the letter. Dear Quartermaster Corps, the Select Board of the Town of Marshfield hereby serves you notice of its intention to hold a public hearing under the provision of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 138, for the purpose of determining whether the petition for change of manager from Douglas Brown to Karen Eilerston for the Marshfield VFW 655 Main Street, Marshfield, Mass. 02050 meets the approval of the local licensing board. You should be further advised that the public hearing will be held on Monday, July 11, 2022 at 6:45 p.m. in the Selectmen's Hearing Room at Marshfield Town Hall. Please confirm that you and Ms. Eilerston will be in attendance. So got that squared away. So sorry guys, the floor is back to you guys. Thank you, Jim.
No worries.
Well, I recommend Karen highly. She's, as acting manager, she's been very conscientious, thorough, and responsible.
Yeah.
And done a very good job with ordering various supplies that we need, including, of course, liquor and paper goods and so forth, so.
Yeah, you guys have always done a good job with the folks you recommend, and it's been a good track record. So all your paperwork's in order. So, do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, it seems straightforward. Seems like you got the experience, you have the Corey, everything seems great.
Also tip certified, I don't know if,
Certified
yeah,
as well.
always, also, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No? Good luck.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the change of manager under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 138, for the VFW located at 655 Main Street, Marshfield, from Douglas Brown to Karen Eilerston. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Awesome. All right, congratulations.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming in.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll do number 10 now, which is a discussion and vote on the request to use the town hall lawn, and that's from the Molly Fund. Do you want to give us the rundown on that one, Michael?
Yes, so the Molly Fund's doing Molly Movie Mania,
Yes.
and that will take place on this Friday and then August 12th. They're doing Clifford the Big Red Dog and
Seen that
Encanto. Yes. So that will be a fun evening. It's a family-type event right out on the town green, and they too will be selling refreshments and popcorn for the viewers that come to view the movie.
Yeah, sounds like a fun
And it's
event.
all free.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, the movie's great.
Yeah.
Saw it with my daughter.
Do you have any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the request of the Molly Fund to hold family-free movie nights on the town green on July 15th, 2022, and August 12th, 2022, from 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, perfect. And then 8, it's just a request from Scout Troop 424 to have basically a bottle and can drop-off box in the town hall parking lot as, little ways to raise some funds. I know it's happened in a few other towns, and, God bless them for, chipping away at 5 cents a pop. Did you have any additional details and context, Michael, you wanted to provide?
Sure, Mr. Chairman, if I may, I spoke to Mike Beard, and 424, and they're looking to put something similar. This is what's used in Pembroke.
Yep.
So it's like a little shed. They're responsible for keeping it clean and orderly, and it's a place for people to come and drop off their bottles and cans. Pembroke raises annually about $4,000, which is a significant amount of money for the troops. It's very hard, than the money then that they use for camping trips to augment supplies and uniforms and all of those types of things. So they're asking the town of Marshfield if they can put some kind of small shed. They don't have anything yet. They'll work with me. We'll work with the building department to get it permitted. But they're looking for something similar to this.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. That was very helpful. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I don't think so.
Okay. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve a bottle and can drop-off in the town hall parking lot to be maintained and handled by Scout Troop 424. Is there a second?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, perfect. So, folks, thanks for your patience. So now we can get to our appointment for the Green Harbor Beach petition. So we appreciate you guys reaching out and you just being very engaged and informed citizens. And so we're going to go ahead and dive into that. Anyone who's looking to make any public comments who lives in the area, if you didn't see it earlier, there's a clipboard going around. We just need you to kind of sign in with your name and address if you guys are looking to comment. Speak during the meeting and things of that nature. So we did receive your complaints. You know, we've been in contact with the police department, the DPW, to try to, communicate about what we can do to mitigate the situation going on there. And I know that each new season we have to kind of set the tone because people have really bad short-term memories. So each new summer season we got to crack down early and set the tone, which I think you guys do, but we're here to kind of listen and hear your concerns. I know we have a lot of folks looking in the room who are looking to speak. So we're going to set an aspirational time limit of 2 minutes per person if you can. And we'd ask, just so everyone gets a chance to speak, if you guys have a new comment, that would be perfect. But if you have kind of a repetitive point to make, you can just say that you agree with the previous speaker and that you support what they said, just so that we can kind of cover everything and make sure everyone gets a fair chance to speak. So first what we're going to do is we'll make some opening remarks from our end, and then we're going to invite the chief to kind of give us a breakdown of what's been going on historically and what we're kind of doing to address the situation and things of that nature. So actually, why don't we start with the chief to get an overview of what's going on in Green Harbor, and then we'll turn to comments ourselves.
Did you make the motion to open?
Yep, and of course we got to make a motion to open the session as well. And thank you very much. We got the sign-in sheet up too. Yep, perfect. So first I'll go ahead and make a motion to open the public hearing regarding the citizen's petition for Green Harbor. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, perfect. So we're going to go through the chief and Lieutenant Sullivan, and then we can make any thoughts or comments or questions that we have, and then we'll go to the audience. And again, I would just ask that people respectfully address their comments and feedback through the chair, and just identify yourself before you speak, and we can keep things running smoothly. So with that, Chief, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for having us in today. Obviously with me today is Lieutenant Sullivan, who is in charge of our patrol division, but he's also in charge of the beach program. So he's here for kind of both ends of it. I can give you a brief overview. I grew up on Green Harbor Beach. I've been there nearly 53 years. I know most of the people down there. I know what the problems are. I know what some of the solutions are. And every year, typically, it starts off the first hot day. There's, high school kids will skip school. They'll go down there. They'll come from other communities. They'll cause problems. So we do try to catch that and stop it so that it doesn't carry out through the rest of the summer. So I can kind of give you a brief rundown of what happened up until this point. Yeah. Okay, so I ran a search from April 1st until May 31st, because the date on the petition is May 31st. And from May 1st to from April 1st to May 15th, we didn't have any calls for service in the area. But then after that, we received 20 calls for service to that area, and we responded to all of them. These calls range from open 911 calls to trash overflows, disturbances on the beach and surrounding areas, and parking lot issues. We responded to disturbances on the beach with as many as 12 uniformed officers at one single time, in addition to plainclothes officers. We performed an additional 9 proactive sweeps of the beach with multiple officers dispatched each time. And the police department also issued citations on 4 different dates and towed 2 improperly parked motor vehicles in that area. So that was from April 1st to May 31st. Then I did it again after we received the petition from May 31st, June 1st to June 24th. And during that time, we received 5 calls for service. These calls included one of each of the following: a speeding car on Marginal Street, loud kids in the parking lot on Beach Street, a small group of loud kids on Burke's Beach, a small beach fire, and 1 abandoned 911 call. And we didn't find anybody in distress as a result of that 911 call. During this time period, from June 1st until June 24th, we performed 26 self-initiated uniformed checks at Burke's Beach, Green Harbor Beach. Also checked the town parking lots on multiple occasions. In addition to that, we had plainclothes officers that would go down to the beach, they'd sit on the seawall, they'd walk up to the stairs, they'd walk down the pathway, and they'd spot any problems where, if they found any, they could just relay them to the uniformed officers to go down and take care of it. Because obviously, a lot of the problems that we had were from out-of-town kids, and if they see a police officer, they'll hide what they're doing or they'll take off. We were able to identify, there were some fights down there, we were able to identify most of these problems were coming from kids from outside the town of Marshfield. There was a group of kids from East Bridgewater, and there was another group from Rhode Island. Why they picked Marshfield, I'm not sure. But through videotape footage and pictures, we were able to identify who they are. And when they came back to the beach, we were able to speak with them, call their parents, and ask for them not to come back here and cause problems in our community. So we were able to do that. And then on the 4th of July weekend, from July 1st through Monday, July 4th, we did another search regarding the Green Harbor area. During this time, we received 4 calls for service. 1 call was a well-being check on Assumption Road on July 3rd, which was unrelated to the beaches. 1 was a group of kids arguing on Green Harbor Beach on the 4th of July at 8:53 p.m. They were removed from the beach and a small beach fire was extinguished. The other call was a parking complaint on Marginal Street on July 1st at 12:15 p.m. A parking citation was issued. The 4th call was another parking complaint on Bay Ave on July 3rd at 4:30 p.m. and a parking citation was issued. We also checked Green Harbor Beach as many as 7 times each day between Friday, July 1st and Monday, July 4th, in addition to assigning multiple officers to the Green Harbor area from the 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift on July 2nd and 3rd. We logged 2 motor vehicle stops in that area during this time. One was a speeding car that was stopped on July 4th, and the other was a motor vehicle stop that resulted in an operating under the influence arrest on July 4th. So that's kind of like some of the problems that we've encountered and some of the stuff that we've done to try to resolve it. I mean, this is typical. Marshfield gets busy in the summer. Our beaches get very busy. Our roads get busy. Our restaurants get busy. The bars get busy. And what we try to do is identify the problem and then respond to it. You're never going to be able to eliminate all the problems, but we're here to work with the community and figure out what our best options are. But we'd already been addressing all of this before the petition came along. So it wasn't like this was a result of the petition, because nobody had contacted me, and this was all stuff that we had been doing to resolve it from the beginning. This is typical. We've been working on this every year.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, Chief. And we did get an email today. There was one resident who couldn't make the meeting, but just, had some comments on Calypso Lane. Just in your experience with like folks trying to cross the street and use the crosswalk, and it's kind of a tight bend in the road. Kind of what's been your experience kind of trying to mitigate Calypso Lane, where folks are pulling out and it intersects with Carswell Street. And it's kind of hard to see to your left who's coming around the corner. Or it's tough for pedestrians sometimes to kind of cross the street because no one stops. Just kind of like what's been your historical experience kind of in that?
I'm not aware of any issues on Calypso Lane.
Okay.
So, but we can certainly look into it.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thanks, Chief. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Lieutenant Sullivan?
Not yet, no.
Do you feel like you have more hats that you still want to wear?
I'm ready, yeah.
Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I mean, I read the petition carefully and all of it. I understand the citizens have some things they'd like to speak about. I also understand that we are a seaside community, and we double in the summer. And every year, from what I understand, it's been historically handled, is that we come out kind of hard, make sure we identify the people that could be causing problems and make sure that's resolved before the summer really gets in full swing. Chief, if I could just make sure I read this correct, so from June 1st to June 24th, there were 5 calls for service,
Correct. In that entire area.
and within June 1st through 24th is the timeline we're talking about, Chief?
Correct.
There were 26 self-initiated uniform officer checks at Burke's Beach and plainclothes sweeps of Green Harbor Beach?
Correct.
That's 26 in 24 days?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Obviously, we weren't doing it if there was torrential rain.
No.
But, yeah,
There's no one there.
yeah. Thank you.
I'm just pointing out that's a fair amount of activity on behalf of,
Yes.
the citizens in that area.
So we have, our shifts run midnight to 8 a.m., 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4 p.m. to midnight. So there's, on the regular patrol shift, there's 3 shifts a day. Every shift, every day, is told to go down there multiply and watch the beach,
Okay.
specifically Green Harbor Beach.
Well, it is important, because it is a busy area.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jim. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I think that the general gist of what we're learning in this day and age is you see something, you say something. So everybody's here probably in light of that, and the petition itself probably came from that mentality. So I'm glad everybody's here, and I am, as everybody knows, I'm new to this job, and I am really respectful of the police department and the work that they are doing in this goal. So I'm a little bit curious about the ideas with resident placards for parking on certain streets like Marginal, et cetera. So do you have any history with that idea or concept?
Yes.
Okay, could you share that? Or
Okay.
do you want to share that in another, is it appropriate, Chair, to ask that question? Okay.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so if you could just share that.
So the 3 streets that primarily were spoken about in the petition were Marginal Street, Beach Street, and Bay Avenue.
Okay,
Currently, Bay Avenue has no parking. No parking's allowed on either side of Bay Avenue.
right,
No parking is allowed on either side of Beach Street. And no parking is only allowed on the east side of Marginal Street. Now, the reality of it is that the residents have small driveways. They don't have enough room for guests to come over. So we use our discretion so that we're not ticketing all the people that live there. Because most people
don't wanna
take
do
up
that.
spots in front of their house when they have family and friends over. So if there's a vehicle that's been identified as being a hazard, then we'll address it. We'll try to get somebody to move it first. If they don't move it, then it could be ticketed or towed if it presents a public safety hazard. So those streets, people do park on both sides of the streets. In order to have resident parking only, it takes a vote at town meeting.
right.
They're primarily Brent Rock and Wrexham are areas that have some of those resident placard parking only. What we've run into with that is you're limited on the number of resident placards you can get, like Wrexham only has 2, okay? So what'll happen is somebody will call and say, so-and-so is parked in front of my house, and I don't know who this person is, so we'll go down there, and then they'll say, yeah, you guys need to ticket this one. We'll say, well, what about that one? Well, that one's my cousin's. Well, that
Yeah,
one
I
doesn't
know.
have a placard on it either.
Right.
So as it is right now, it just kind of works itself out, and if there's a problem, we try to work with the neighborhood, because, yeah, I venture to bet that, if we started ticketing, well, first off, it would have to be properly posted. The upper end of Beach Street does have some signage, not nearly enough. The lower part down the beach doesn't. Bay Avenue, I'm not aware of any no parking on the main stretch. And then there are some no parking on the easterly side of Marginal Street.
Okay,
So basically, if you wanted to do resident parking only, you would, it would take a vote at town meeting, but the way it is now, it pretty much works itself out, because, you know, if you want to try to make it so that you could park on the street on those, it's gonna
right.
impede traffic.
And the residents
It's gonna,
as
it's gonna,
well.
it's gonna
Right.
impede, people are gonna, the way it is.
A balancing act
Yeah.
there, and may not be the solution we're looking for. Yeah, okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lynn. And Lynn's question got me thinking too, that I know that we have those speed limit signs, and we kind of rotate them with regularity around town to keep people on their toes and, you know, conscientious of what they're doing. I mean, in your experience, how effective do those kind of tend to be, and is the effect short-term, long-term, et cetera?
You know, I'm not really sure. I mean, I think it looks good. Does it really work? I don't know, because we find that, you know, speeding still continues. We have been doing lots of radar on those streets that have been, whether it's rolling or stationary, because you can do it mobile too. So as the police car's rolling down the road, it also is doing radar at the same time. I don't know if people know that or not, but we don't have to be stationary shooting a gun out the window. So we have been doing traffic enforcement down there as well. There is a long list. Speeding cars is a major complaint all over town, everywhere. You know, I have family that lives on Canal Street, and people going up and down from Duxbury Beach, and it's a major problem. I agree with that. The Green Harbor Beach Association has purchased with their own money the pedestrian crossing signs that they have put on all the crosswalks along Bay Avenue. What happens from time to time is they get stolen or they get run over, and they try to replace them, but the Green Harbor Beach Association does a great job with getting them out there.
Awesome. Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're going to pivot to the audience questions in just a second, but I just want to recap. You know, we did receive the petition and some correspondence from Ms. Sweeney, and I know that our town administrator sent out a response regarding kind of the Memorial Day weekend, game plan and actions taken by Chief Tavares and the police department. So if you folks haven't seen a copy of it, we're happy to get that to you. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of turn to the audience, since this is a public hearing. And again, if folks could just set an aspirational time limit of 2 minutes and try to kind of keep your comments to new ground that we can break, so that every issue gets covered and we're not getting repetitive and bogged down. So if folks could do that, that would be much appreciated. If you have any written feedback, you know, you're welcome to give it to our town administrator right now or to email us. And anyone who's here today and signed in with their email, once we have updates and feedback for you guys, we'll make sure to email that to you as well. So we're going to recognize some folks from the audience. And again, we just ask that you identify and state your name and your address, including your street number, and we will be good to go. So who would like to go first?
Sure, I can go first.
Sure. Yep.
Lori Sweeney, 119 Marginal Street, Marshfield. Thanks for having us tonight. I wanted to start off by saying, first off, I do agree with the number of calls that went into the police. It does match up with the incidents that we all discussed. Unfortunately, it does sound a little bit different when you hear disturbing the peace. You know, that's what the call is, because when you're living it, it's way beyond that. You know, it's kids fighting in the street. It's different as a resident. That's my point. Anyway, the petition is not meant to be a reflection on anybody not doing their job. The intent of that was really the impact of societal changes and things that are happening in the neighborhood. It's not how things were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, etc. And this is happening in all different beach communities. It's not unique to Marshfield. So we did not come up with the ideas for how to manage it on our own either. So the inception of the petition came from truly fear. And fear of what? Fear of a child getting hit by a car, fear of a teenager drowning in the ocean because they are under the influence, fear of a toddler stepping on a needle on the beach. Yes, we had needles on the beach. So that's it, really where it stemmed from. And for me, the moment was when there was a young mother with her children on the beach who asked some kids to stop smoking near her kids. They dropped the F-bomb on her and then came over to her 3-year-old, dragged their cigarette, and blew it in the kid's face. So I think we all have a tolerance level, and I think that was probably the breaking point for everybody, to say enough is enough. So anyway, we live in a different world, times have changed, and it's us, as adults, that really have to show the responsibility to make the environment safe for all kids, the kids visiting, the kids that live there, etc. And right now, it is not safe. And I would have said that weekend in May, there was a high probability that a girl could have gotten seriously injured down on the beach. I would also like to say that residents have rights. We have legal rights, the rights to quiet enjoyment. Visitors have those same rights under the law. It's actually in the Marshfield town bylaws, disorderly conduct. So we feel the same, that cracking down is good, but it doesn't work like it used to work. And we think it has to be proactive, and we think it has to be right off bat in mid-May to set the tone, not 3 weeks into it, because it's hard to get ahead of it once they're out there. They don't go away easily. Okay, so some of the solutions we had, recommendation, were the plaque cards. I know some people were, had mixed feelings on that, and we were aware it would go to town meeting for a vote. The increasing the parking violation, I believe Officer Sullivan said that already went up to $50. Increase the signage for parking. Speed limit signs. Marginal Street does not have a speed limit sign. I live on the street. I have no idea what the speed limit is. But I will tell you, people come around the corner from Careswell about 60 miles an hour, and we see these young kids coming the opposite way with their little fishing rods on their shoulders. And we would love to see something there, a yield, a stop, something. And directly across from that was always a dead end sign. Somebody took it down. And out-of-towners now come up Careswell, they might be following GPS and just go zooming across, and we're all just waiting for somebody to land in the harbor at some point. For the speeding, we thought about seasonal speed bumps, maybe for Bay Ave or Beach. Go slow sign, using the VMS sign, no street parking. Trash, I think the DPW's been doing a really good job. They added additional barrels, put one on the beach. They're doing more frequent pickups, so that's definitely improved quite a bit. And the Lobster Pound has been making sure the bridge has been kept clean, and Paul has picked up lots of trash, like I think he said over 350 pounds of it. So that gives you an idea how much trash is being left on the beach. The dunes, I think there's somebody here that's going to speak on the dunes. No?
The dunes are not owned by the town. The dunes are owned by
Yes.
the citizens.
Yep, I heard.
Property owners and-
Yeah, and I had actually put that on here, that was actually a dispute, and I had spoken to Bill Grafton about it via
It's not
email.
dispute. The town doesn't own the dunes.
Yeah,
So
okay,
there's no action at this time.
okay. I think the request was, could there be a fencing along the boardwalk?
No,
So we had fencing, and then we were advised by town council that it's private property.
Yeah.
And the actual owners did not want the fence there.
Yeah,
So the fence had to be removed.
yeah, okay. So I think that was it. Oh, I know, Mr. Maresco, you had mentioned that the number of police sent over to Burke's Beach was disproportionate to other areas of town, which we agree and we totally appreciate. We couldn't be happier with what the police have been doing. It's marked improvement. But is it feasible to keep that going in the long run?
Do you want me to, I have to be,
Yeah, if you could just direct any comments or questions through me, that'd be
Yeah.
perfect. But Michael, if you'd like to address that.
it's, we have a fantastic police department. They're very proactive. You heard from the chief and the lieutenant, so they'll do whatever it takes to maintain order and set the tone for the beaches. So in certain times, they may have to go to Green Harbor, they may have to go to Brant Rock, Fieldston, Hummer Rock. So it all depends where the problems are. So wherever the problems are, the police will go there and stop the issues.
Yeah. What about if people wanted to have it more proactive? Would there be the possibility of having the presence of a sheriff or a rent-a-cop. They used to do that in days gone by. Like I said, other communities have been doing this. Whitehorse Beach and Plymouth took a lot of these steps. Hull took a lot of these steps. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's something that we can definitely look into and explore, see, you know, kind of how the budget looks, the practicality of doing that. So that's something that we can kind of look into for kind of the menu of options and requests that you put forward tonight. So we can definitely get back to you on that.
Okay. I had one last question. It was on coolers. A lot of people had asked about why the police can't check coolers. And I know it's privacy issues, but some people asked why they can't do it on the entranceway. And I truthfully don't know. Some people say it's a willfulness check.
So basically, it would be illegal for us to do that. We have
Yeah.
no right to do that,
Yeah,
unless we had probable cause to believe that there was evidence of a crime in that.
yeah. So you can't say to them, can I look in your cooler? And if they say no, you can't say, then put it in your car. You can still come to the beach, but you can't bring your cooler.
It's a public beach, it's open to the public. Have a
Ma'am,
right to-
But the town owns the strip going in.
Ma'am, we
I'm
will
sorry.
get to you for sure, but we just can't have, you know, talking over one another. So we'll get to you for sure. But just, you know, direct any comments or questions through me, and we'll certainly get to you.
Okay.
Did you have anything else, Miss Sweeney? Is that everything?
I just wanted to close with one comment, and it comes from a really well-admired guy here in Marshfield. And I think it really is important for everybody to remember. Understand that life is fragile and unpredictable, and learn to live that way. Remember, the safety of our children and our communities is paramount, and without it, nothing else really matters.
Thank you. And I know that Jim had a question, comment, just to make Kate's life easier. Ma'am, if you could just identify yourself by name and address.
I didn't mean to talk over you.
It's totally fine. Yep.
Very bad and all, 80 Marginal Street, I'm your neighbor, nice to meet you.
All right. So Katie, once Jim and Lynn go, we'll circle back to you, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Yeah, just a quick one that perhaps the chief, Lieutenant Sullivan, can clarify. So I grew up in a beach community as well, and probably a lot of us have. And back then, we always had seasonal police officers that they would bring down to the beaches that would help maintain, you know, order on the beaches, and then you would have the structural costs of year-round employees and things like that. Is that possible? Did the new legislation help us, hinder us in that area?
No, the new police reform bill
Yeah.
has pretty much completely eliminated part-time police
So
officers.
we can't do that.
No.
Okay.
And that ties into the reform bill that was passed about
Yes.
a year ago.
Yes.
Because that was very effective.
It's going to cause major problems at its conclusion, because there's rolling dates for this that go out well past next year. Lots of communities out in Western Mass that have part-time police officers are in trouble. All the deputy sheriffs are in trouble. They're not going to be able to fulfill the requirements to stay on, and we're going to have a real problem with filling positions, without a doubt.
So if we wanted to, this board work with you to do that, we're not able to.
You'd have to hire full-time police officers.
That's a different thing, yeah. Okay, thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I mean, I generally am of the belief that we stay in-house for controlling and safety, and I would consider staying in-house would be, but I obviously would have to do a lot of work and research on that. It's a new concept for me, so.
Thanks, Lynn. All right, so we'll go to the gentleman in the tan shorts and the blue dress shirt because he was up earlier, and then Katie, we'll go to you. So yeah, that's you. You're good. So if you could just state your name and street address and number.
119
Thanks.
Marshall Street. Just talking about the speed bumps, the no parking, it's all spotty. And a stop sign, we talked about one, Careswell, I think it's gonna be a problem. Whose evaluation is that? And how do we get that cleaned up? It's a question.
Sure. So it'd be, you know, a collaborative approach because it's different departments, different jurisdictions. So Michael, you might be best equipped to kind of dive into that.
So, stop signs and then policing signs in general would be go through the safety officer and the police department.
Yep.
The signs are physically made by the DPW, and I'll defer it to the chief for any additional info.
Yeah, it would be up to the DPW to swap out the signs.
Got it.
Or install any new signs.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Did you want to expand on that, Jim, or any questions or comments?
No, except that I live on a dead end street. I've had years in a row where we had a sign that said dead end, and I've had years in a row where we haven't had dead end. Seems like the same amount of cars. I don't think asking for a dead end sign is a particularly difficult thing for the DPW to do. I can't speak for them. I will tell you, my personal experience is it hasn't changed things. I do see those electronic signs, and when I come down a hill and I look at the 5 cars in front of me and they're all probably making it flash, a lot don't respond. So I think it's an awareness thing. I don't know if it actually results in behavioral changes. Chief, maybe, or Lieutenant Sullivan, you could comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends, it's all about the responsibility of the driver.
Correct.
You know, we've got reports, you know, there's kids it'll make the problem worse, where kids wanna see how fast they can get the thing going.
Great.
So, I mean, it's, you know, it's probably just an awareness thing.
So, if I may, so Chief, to try to answer some of these questions on the speeding side, so you're using a lot of radar patrols down
Yes.
there now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
When you see a police car driving around, most of the time, there's probably radar on.
It's on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I think we have some traffic control and things like that just we need some more work, but I think we're on the right track.
Thanks. All right, so Katie, if you just want to do your name, address one more time, and the floor is yours. If anything you want to.
Carrie Bagnall.
Carrie, okay.
Street. Thank you. First of all, I really would like to thank Lori Sweeney for her time.
Oh.
You know, we all have jobs, families, and like to take action, think about taking action, and seldom do it because it takes time. And so I appreciate your effort. Also would like to thank the police department. They've been very responsive and cooperative with, I think, I'm not speaking for everybody, but most members of the small community known as Green Harbor. They've been very good. And my son, who's 18, will speak to how the police presence on the beach this year has actually had a good impact. So my concern is that there are many issues that were raised in this petition. Most of us haven't seen the petition or had an opportunity to read the petition. The dunes being one of them, that's resolved. The town doesn't own the dunes. The second is the parking. I came in here before the hearing thinking, okay, residential parking, but I'm sorry, I don't know your last name, Mr. Chief.
Tavares.
You explained it very well, and the police have been very gracious with the parking in the area, in the sense that if we go to that, then we all have to face the consequences. And the reality is we're only talking a short window of time. Yes, we were lucky. We got some beach weekends in May. It happened to fall in the last week of high schools. Pembroke, Marshfield, Duxbury, and you know, it was a quiet winter, and then suddenly we got inundated over the course of 2 weekends. I haven't seen a weekend like that since, due to weather, due to graduation, due to festival, I'm sure, this past weekend up at the fairgrounds that I hear went well. Congratulations. So I just don't want a knee-jerk reaction with some of these issues, because we as the residents in Green Harbor, which is a very, you know, we're really only talking about 5 or 6 streets as it relates to the beach. You know, where we as the residents have to bear the consequences for the other 45 weeks, 48 weeks, that the beach really isn't an issue. It's particularly concerned with the language in the petition that in any way pointed to the one small business that we have in Green Harbor, which is the lobster pound. And we all know after the last 2 years what it means to have a small business survive and up and running. And we're proud of the owners. We're proud of that business. It's a mainstream in Green Harbor, just like the general store. what would Green Harbor look like if we didn't have the general store? And so the reason for me being here was out of concern that in any way that business, Paul and his family, would be impacted with limitation on the parking. Limitation on any parking isn't going to solve the problem down there. The problem is on the beach. And so my question to the selectmen, because I don't have a clear understanding, is I'm new to the area in the sense of ownership, but I've been frequenting Green Harbor since I was 2. And my family has had property down there since that time. I recently moved from Duxbury over to Green Harbor, and I was thrilled to be able to do that. And the beach is a disgrace. The beach is a disgrace regardless of busy weekends. It's a disgrace, just, you know, an eyesore. There's trash on the beach, there's needles on the beach. So what is the selectmen's position with the town's responsibility with that beach? I've lived on other beaches such as Wareham. Not, I would say, if I insult anybody, I'm sorry, not as prosperous as Marshfield. And they rake the beaches. Onset Beach is raked every single day. They have barrels on the beach. They have DPW people that go and are responsible for emptying those barrels, or, if need be, removing the barrels. We have none of that down in Burke's Beach. It's a very small, public beach. And so I would like to see the energy go into more resources, or an explanation as to why the town doesn't have those resources to protecting that beach during, especially the heightened season, which again is only about 10 weeks. At best, if we have a good summer, a cool summer this year. But why isn't this town maintaining that beach? You know, just rubbish removal and beach cleanup. And that's what I'd like to the question I have. And my son's here, who would like to say, you know, talk about the improvements made this summer. And as an 18-year-old, how he sees a positive impact with the improvements that the police department has made. Just the frequency of going down. Am I going to speak?
Yep, just state your name and address and street number, and you're good to go.
I'm Tom Erman, 80 Marginal. I would just like to say that I feel like this year especially there has been increased police presence on the beach. And I would say that is helping a lot, because I know like my age group, I got friends in every town, and you know, we all go to Green Harbor because we love it there. And I would say that the people I know that would go there to go drink or something, a lot of them are being deterred to other places or just not doing it at all. Because you guys are helping build a reputation of like, you can't do that here. You know, you guys have been doing a good job of showing that it's unacceptable, and I hope you keep that up. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like you have a good topic for your college admissions essay, so let's start. Yes.
My name is Meg Good. I live at 208 Bay right at Burke's Beach. The difference out of those 2 weekends, we've coming off 3 years of COVID, cold spring, and then we had hot weather. And it hit the town hard, which it always does, and I agree exactly with what Chief Tavara said. Since then, they've got it completely under control. I'm living right there. 99% of the teenagers, I'm sorry, but no one agrees with me, because I go down to the beach every day, are good kids. They might be stupid, but I go down there, the lobster pub goes down first thing in the morning with a green bag. They send the kid down. I try to go down at night, and I know there's another neighbor that goes down. If I ask the kids, I've never had one kid say no, they wouldn't help me. Not one. There's no barrels. I don't know what the solution is to that, because I don't know if it's going to be worse or not to have the barrels. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I also think, and I'm sorry, as a mother of 3 boys, that the beach is where kids should go. I do believe that. Maybe they need a little bit, maybe overseeing, the cops are down there. But where else are they? I mean, that's what we have a beach for. That's what kids do. You don't want them getting out of control. The out-of-towners in the beginning were a problem, but it has quieted down. And I believe when I got the petition, I was misled when I signed it. I felt that way. I don't want to hurt small business. I don't want to hurt what's going on. This Green Harbor Beach is nothing like it used to be because it was worse. We had Burke Beach parking lot. We had the parking across the street. You wouldn't want to go by the bridge at night when I was a kid. So right now, I think it's, other than those few weekends, I think that they're doing a good job. We do have a trash problem, but I think we're trying to work on that, and the police have been excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, and we can certainly reach out to our counterparts in the Board of Public Works and in the DPW. They are our fellow elected board colleagues, so we'll certainly reach out to and communicate with them and see what we can do to improve that situation and to address that, and reach out to some colleagues and counterparts in other towns as well to kind of pick their brains and how they've executed their maintenance strategies. Did you have any comments or questions you wanted to add, Jim?
No, I just want to support you on that. I do agree. And maybe Lieutenant Sullivan or the chief can comment this. Once again, I'll go back to, we all kind of grew up on the beach areas, and a lot of these beach areas have seasonal rentals as well as year-round residents. And it's kind of a fine line, I think, between enough barrels and too many barrels. And maybe Chief Lieutenant Sullivan, you can speak to this. And we can speak to our peers. I think that's a great idea to see if we can have some increased. Everyone wants clean beaches. The reason why you go to the beach is because you want to enjoy the beach. You don't want trash on your beach. It's kind of sad that we have that situation because that means that someone actually threw something there. But I think from the barrel perspective, and I'd like to hear from the chief, and also, let's reach out to the DPW on that. I'm sure, Lynn, that you probably agree with that as well. Is it sometimes counter to what you think it is when you put additional barrels due to rental properties and private trash?
Yeah, the beach areas, people go to the beach. Sometimes they don't bring enough trash bags. Sometimes they bag their stuff up and they leave it, and the barrels are overflowing. I drove by all those streets before I came to today's meeting. There were 3 barrels down at the entrance to Green Harbor Beach. They look to be full. Now, I don't think you could fit much more inside those barrels right now. That right by where the porta potties are. It's obviously the job of the DPW to remove the trash. What we've had a problem with, not necessarily right in that exact area, but in the beach areas, is people have to pay $2 a bag to throw their trash out if they have more than a barrel, and it's what happens is sometimes the more barrels you put out, they end up getting filled up with household trash rather than just trash from the beach. So it is a balance, but I'm in complete favor of doing anything we can to improve things down there. I mean, this I consider my beach.
Yeah.
I have family and friends, lots of them, that live there and go there. So whatever solutions anybody proposes, I'm obviously in favor of working with. I also, might not be the right time to say it, is that at any point, at any time, if anybody has any issues, please feel free to contact us. Nobody contacted me about any of this. This is just stuff we do routinely, but don't ever be afraid to sit down and have a meeting with us. This, I think, was probably unnecessary, but I'm happy to hear, what you see as a problem and how we can address it.
Thanks, Chief. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Lynn?
No, I think that we're on the right track.
All right, awesome. Yep, so in the back row, just name and address, please.
Sure. Donald Trenner, 172 Bay Ave. Mr. Chair, I appreciate the board taking time to hear about Green Harbor Beach issues and the surrounding area. I moved here in '67. I graduated from Marshfield High School. I spent over 33 years in the military and federal service. I'm a homeowner, a taxpayer, and a voter. My wife and I live on Bay Avenue year-round. The issues listed in the petition are truthful and painful to property owners and beachgoers, and I appreciate the town administrators taking the time to provide a response. However, the data analysis, though accurate, does not reflect the current safety issue on the beach. There was a keg party there last Saturday during the day. These are based on my observations over the last 8 summers. These issues are a predictable function of timing, weather, and social media. Timing. From mid-May, when the college students get out, till then, early June, when the high school seniors get out, until the school gets out and the families show up, this is the period of time where we have issues every year. Lack of civility, public urination, trash, and rampant disrespect for the beach, grass, and dunes, that's that time of the year. Under the broken windows theory of policing, this could be prevented rather than reacted to. What I mean about the weather is, the nicer the weather and the more accurate the forecast for the longer range, the more people that show up. The more people on the beach, the more problems there are. It's interesting to know that even if the forecast is going to be bad and it turns out good, there are less people on the beach, even though it's a beautiful beach day. Timing, weather, and social media. When I was the Director of Operations Coordination for the Department of Homeland Security, we leveraged open access tools and public media, Twitter and Facebook, TikTok didn't exist then, to actually be able to predict and get real-time operational information for what's going on from publicly available information while fully respecting the constitutional rights of citizens. To be proactive, you have to examine the intersection of the weather, the time of the year, and the social media. I think Chief Tavares deserves the resources to have the responses for the time that's right, not in a reactive way, but in a proactive way. The police department is excellent at responding. Every time I call, and I call frequently, they respond, and I appreciate that. So it's nothing about them not doing that. They need more help. They have the right resources and the right intelligence to drive their operational planning. The speeding and illegal parking is a safety issue because the illegally parked cars cause the kids on bikes or the elderly walking to have to go out in the street while people zip by at ridiculous speeds on Bay Ave, Beach Street, and Marginal Street. Someone's going to get hurt. Enforcement is necessary, intelligence-driven operational planning is necessary, and your assistance is necessary. Thank you for listening, Mr. Chair.
Yep. Thank you very much. All right, is there anyone in the audience who maybe has some new ground they want to cover, or an idea that we haven't covered yet that they're looking to kind of add to the discussion, or do you guys feel like we've kind of covered all the issues going on in Green Harbor? Yes.
I'll keep it really quick.
Yep.
My name is Lisa Rathers. I'm at 48 Marginal. I have a 9-year-old, and I know some people's opinions have been, it's a short period of time that these things are happening, but if my 9-year-old gets hit by a car because we've stepped out into the street with the things that we've discussed and the things that are going on, it's one child too many that have been killed. And I'm not gonna be happy, obviously. And I think there's many people that feel like that. This isn't a witch hunt. We're not trying to say, we wanna blame somebody. We just want things to be taken care of before a child, an elderly, or somebody gets hit.
Thank you. Yes, the back left corner.
On the list. Are you gonna go through the list of names or? Janet Dwyer, 65 Ice House Lane. My folks have been on Bay Ave for decades, and Green Harbor's been a beach that I love. I'm here just first of all to say I adore the lobster pound, they're wonderful. Secondly, it was horrible at the beginning of this year. If you could just, next year, just kind of be ready. It was, I've never seen it like that. Like going into the general store with my family with packs, I don't know how they did it. Packs and packs of kids. It was just unbelievable. Secondly, I just had a question. The petition I signed on Facebook, there seem to maybe be 2 petitions floating around, or this one doesn't really talk about the lobster pound, which is fine with me. I just want to make sure that this was fairly benign, that please, more police presence, just please, to help us, especially at the beginning of the season.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, can I address that for the petition, the 2 petitions?
It's probably more so an issue outside of the meeting. If you guys could just get together out in the hall and kind of square that away,
Sure.
But we definitely take it seriously. What you guys are telling us tonight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get together with kind of all the relevant parties here. So we've got your feedback. Again, feel free to follow up with us and to reach out again. But we're gonna communicate and reach out to our colleagues, the DPW. And we're going to reach out to the Conservation Commission as well and discuss, dune management and jurisdictional items, stuff like that, but and the police department too. So we're going to get together and we're going to kind of consolidate all the feedback and the ideas and see what's feasible, short-term, long-term, and things of that nature. And we're going to discuss this again in a meeting in the future. So what we're going to do with that is we'll go to the chief and tell if you have any closing thoughts or comments, and then we'll go to Jim and Lynn, and then we're going to close the public hearing.
No, I think you can see from the calls of service that we've had that obviously we had a quick start that started hot and early, and we identified the problems, and since then, the calls for service have been down. Now, it's not going to eliminate all the problems. There's still going to be problems there, and I encourage the public to call, and we'll respond appropriately, but we have been doing right along proactive, not just reactive, efforts down there with not only uniformed officers, but plainclothes officers. So just because you don't see anybody in a uniform doesn't mean we're not down there.
Yep, definitely. Thank you, Chief. Do you have any closing comments, Jim?
Just that I want to thank you for coming in. It's part of our duty to react to the citizens of the town and what their needs are. I hope you respect the process as the chair laid out. We do take it seriously. We do thank you for coming in. We do a lot of important town business every other Monday night, and it's great to see a crowd like this. It does show passion. Hopefully it'll spill over to other issues here in the town, and we'll see you more often. And that's all I would like to close with.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Jim. Any closing comments, Lynn?
I think everybody's done a good job of pinpointing the issues, and we'll see what we can do.
And if folks are happy with tonight's meeting, go out and vote. If you hate us, go out and vote. One high turnout.
Volunteer to work in your municipal.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to ask our police chief, Phil Tavares, to review the information presented and requested this evening with his department and to submit recommendations from the police department on what is feasible. Furthermore, the select board will reach out to the Department of Public Works regarding the trash, speed bumps, road signs, and request their recommendations on that front as well. And we're also going to reach out to the Conservation Commissioner with respect to dune management. And additionally, the information from these departments will be presented at a future select board meeting. Is there a second?
I would second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you
Remember,
for coming out.
we have almost 20 commissions, boards, positions available for you, for people who are passionate about what goes on in their town. Would love you to volunteer.
Is there anything else with?
Just one appointment with Jonathan.
That's my broken record speech.
And then we're kind of good to
No,
go
it's
to
excellent.
Hey, it's good to see you again.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Good luck. I don't know what's up with the tickle in my throat.
Sometimes you just can't kick it, you know? It's just one of those
No.
things.
Hi. How are you?
We go to Jonathan next?
Yes. Poor guy.
He's there, I think. There he is.
All right, Jonathan, you're up, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Chief, Lieutenant? Well, all I can say is Jonathan really knows how to clear a room. I do. I mean, all I can say is there was a lot of people here before you got up to speak.
Jonathan's going to change his deodorant after this meeting.
Did you notice how he pulled the mic right up nice and close? He must have some experience.
All right.
Said that a dog hair on me?
All right, so now our 7 o'clock heat appointment, punctual as always. So basically, Jonathan, the floor is yours for a nice little Marshfield community media update.
It's nice to be here. Thank you for having me. I know you guys have a busy schedule, as we just saw. This is my normal kind of yearly recap I do to the Board of Selectmen on the activities of what's going on with now what was MCTV, now Marshfield Community Media. Just kind of recapping a lot of the stuff that's gone on. Get to this. Okay, so first off, the big change, as was mentioned earlier. So we are now, as of July 1, known as Marshfield Community Media. New logo, new font. It's something that we've talked about for, I feel like, almost 5 years as an organization. Where are we going? What are we doing? And we've had this conversation. And then last year we said, you know what, let's do a big strategic planning, So we sat down as an organization, brought in an outside consultant, and talked about what the roadmap looks like for us as an organization. We did that again, earlier this year, and it was kind of everything said, we need to do a name change. We're evolving as an organization. We're not just a TV studio anymore. We have digital arts, we have podcasting. The days where people are coming in doing 3-camera live TV shows is slowly fading away. And so we're not just a TV studio, we're a media center. So that's where the name Marshfield Community Media has come from. So that's been the big change. It was official as of July 1 this year. It's going to be my role over the next maybe 6 to 12 months to really talk about it, rebrand, really push, that we're a media center for the Marshfield community. So that's the first real big announcement. So, for those that are watching at home or, new to the board that aren't familiar with what we do, so first off, we're a 501c3 organization. We're a nonprofit. Some people think we're a government entity. Yeah. We work closely with Town Hall. We've had a great relationship with the selectmen, the town administrator over the years, but we are a 501c3. I have a 5-person board of directors, all Marshfield people, community leaders. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm a full-time staff of 5, including myself. So there's myself, a content manager, Sean, who's behind us right here, my production manager, a production assistant, marketing and membership manager, and I also have a part-time government assistant as well, who handles that. 90% of our funding comes from cable revenue. Just to explain that, so in order for Comcast, Verizon to negotiate to provide their service in the town, they negotiate with the town. So the licensing authority, which would be the selectman or their designee. Those are contracts. We get a gross percentage of those contracts just on the TV side. We don't get anything from the internet. We don't get anything at telephone. That's how the law consists. So we get 4% of Comcast and Verizon's gross quarterly profits, and that makes up 90% of our funding, of how we're funded. The key components, our distribution platforms. Everybody knows this for our 3 channels on Comcast and Verizon, but a few years ago, we launched an initiative called MCTV Anywhere, Anytime, because people are accessing media in a wide variety of ways and not just their TV anymore. So we have a streaming channel. We have a Roku app. We have a video on demand on our website. A lot of our stuff has now gone to YouTube, Facebook Live. So big thing on distribution platforms. The other thing is being an information source to the community. As we've known, the newspaper industry coverage has kind of died over the past few years. So we've picked up with Marshfield Community News as a way to kind of get news out to the community about the things that are going on. In addition to that, also initiatives like, especially with the pandemic, working with Town Hall and getting important information out to the community about rules, regulations, everything that was changing. We've been really good in promoting, a lot of the COVID type stuff that's been going on that you guys have been doing in regards to the vaccines and the drives and the testing and all that. So getting information out to the community that's reliable and important has been a big thing for us. Also do a lot of opportunities for individuals through membership who can create content and learn how to create media. Same thing with businesses and organizations. We do a lot of that. A lot of people come in still and learn how to use our equipment to kind of share their knowledge, their expertise with the community, whether it be a TV show, a podcast, a video for our YouTube page, you name it. Community collaboration is another big thing. We work with a wide variety of organizations, ranging from small nonprofits to large organizations. For example, tomorrow is our annual Public Service Announcement Day. We have 15 groups coming in, nonprofits ranging from the Boys and Girls Club to the Agricultural Commission, to do 30-second PSAs about their organization, which then we run our channels over the year and we give them that they can put on their website, their social media. And this is something that we've done every single year. It's a really great event that we do. Also, as I mentioned, new media. We are a media center, so the big 2 things that have come up over the past few years are digital arts, gaming, things of that nature, and podcasting. I like to call podcasting almost the gateway drug into media, and that a lot of people know they need to create media and they want to do it, but they're afraid of being on camera. So the podcast is a great way to do that, and we've had a real uptick in people producing podcasts at MCM over the past year. So new media has been a big push of ours. Just to give you guys a recap of our FY22. So we run on the fiscal year, July 1 to June 30th, like many organizations. So we had 27,000 hours of content across our 4 channels. That's the public, education, government, and streaming. We had almost 12,000 visitors to the website, marshfieldcommunitymedia.com right now, formerly known as marshfieldcommunitytv.org. If you type in the old address, it'll bring you to the new one. That has a lot of great information. We redid the homepage a few years ago to make it more content friendly. So if you go to the web page, right on the homepage, there you're going to find recent content. Also, access to our video on demand is on there as well. 62,000 views of our YouTube channel, which has a wide variety of news pieces, sports, wide variety of small projects that we're working on. 2,000 views of our government Vimeo channel, which is our archive for all the government meetings. So if someone wants to try to find a planning board meeting from maybe January 12, 2017 for some reason, it's on there. We usually try to keep meetings up there for 5 years, because we know that archive of government information is important. Another big thing was the new police EOC building. We were fortunate enough to work with Chief Tavares in putting broadcast equipment in the new EOC room in the police station. So there's going to be a multi-camera camera set up in there with audio and ability to broadcast live from there as well. So that's really important. As I mentioned, we have a staff of 5. We've had some board changes over the past year. Bob Marzelli, who many of you know was the town council here in Marshfield for many years, was on the board for MCM for about 10, served as president for about 5. He stepped down this year. And Jim Robinson, the infamous Jim Robinson, who was the town moderator, was the treasurer for MCTV for about 13 years. He stepped down. So we have some new board members. Julie Williams, who's the vice president of the South Shore Chamber of Commerce, is our new president. We also brought in a few other new board members over the past few months, including Marshfield High School Athletic Director Bill Battis. We've had a great relationship with the athletic department at Marshfield High, and we said, we like having a connection to the school, so we're not a better person. New staff as well. Jen Palmer, who was our production manager for many years, she left. And Ivana Osborne, who's our new production manager, started at the beginning of May. Marshfield Community News is another big piece I mentioned. We've been working on that over the years, and it's growing and growing and growing. It's a real labor of love of the staff. Eventually we'd love to have someone full-time running it, but it's a project between myself, the production manager, and our college interns to cover as much stuff as possible. And then the big 2 things that we're really thrilled about this past year were collaborations with the South Shore Chamber and the Marshfield Chamber. So South Shore Chamber had an initiative in this past year called Hello South Shore. It was the real first time they'd ever actually worked on promoting tourism on the South Shore. So we did a video for them on the project, which promoted tourism and initiatives and day trips in communities like Marshfield. So that was a fun project. And with the Chamber of Commerce, we've worked on a few things. One was last summer was Open for Business. They worked on their Open for Business campaign. We did several videos spotlighting some of the people featured in it. And now we're working on their Behind the Business campaign. The Chamber, we met with Lara, I believe, maybe in the end of last year, and discussed, how can we promote some of the businesses that we usually don't get to promote. So we've been producing these, 90-second, 2-minute pieces on businesses that maybe don't get the love and recognition that other chamber members get. Educational and government activities, 84 sporting events covered this past year, this academic year. So great relationship with the schools. We also covered a wide variety of school events, all live, consisting of graduation, senior awards, National Honor Society induction, a wide variety of school events. On the government side, we cover 7 boards and committees on a regular basis. Most of these are live and then archived. And then we work to, when we're asked to, cover other boards and committees when necessary. Also do our wide variety of town meeting related programming. We work with the town moderator and the town administrator to do a town meeting preview prior to town meeting so people can learn what's on the agenda, what's the protocols for town meeting. And as I mentioned, the EOC installation, which is wrapping up. And something that we really love is our Meet the Candidates program, which I know all of you have appeared on. We interviewed this year every candidate who was running in a contested race for office in the town of Marshfield. And we do that every single time there's an election. And we'll be working on it probably in the next few months with midterm primary type stuff. So something that we've done ever since our get-go. And then finally, moving forward, we're going to keep doing what we're doing in regards to supporting an open and transparent government. We have a really good hold on it. Sean, who handles a lot of that, has done a great job coordinating, making sure meetings are covered and things are done live. We're going to continue executing these strategic plan priorities that we developed last year. As I mentioned, the brand awareness with the move to MCM. We're looking at overhauling our membership structure. We're looking at how we can provide more benefits to our members. And then the news information community aspect. We're looking at potentially hiring a news director for the first time this year. So that's something that we may be looking at our budget. We have some infrastructure improvements coming along. We're going to be overhauling some stuff in Studio A. When we moved into our facility at Marshfield High School back in 2014, everything was brand new. And, you know, things get wear and tear over the years, especially it's used by the students every day, and it's used by our members every day. So it's time to replace some things. And one thing I want to talk about too is H130. I brought this up last year. So as I mentioned, we're only funded by cable revenue currently. And us, like many other community media centers, we're seeing cable subscriptions go down across the Commonwealth. At the current rate, in 10 years' time, we'll lose at least 20% of our revenue from cable. So I serve on the board of Mass Access, which is kind of like the MMA of community media, centers in the state. And we worked with State Rep Joe Machino to introduce this bill called an act relative, basically we call it our streaming bill. It's an act to digital entertainers' use of public rights of way. So this would put a 5% fee on things like Netflix, Amazon Prime. And the revenue from that, 20% would go to the state's general fund, 40% would go to the municipalities via the form cherry sheet format, and 40% would go to the media centers. So this is a bill that we currently have at the State House. It's currently sitting in the Joint Committee for Advanced Technology. I'm trying to remember, it's a really long name. It's basically Joint Committee on Advanced Technology, and we're hoping to get it out this session. The House side's really in favor of it. They want to see it go. The Senate side, as some of you who've worked in the State House know, can be a little complicated, especially with joint committees. So we're trying to get that push out of that committee on the Senate side, and then we'll get it to the floor where we think it's going to get some traction, because this is an issue that we're all going to be facing. So that's pretty much it.
Well, thanks, Jonathan. Who knew that could be a good gateway drug in the form of podcasting?
It's the only way I can describe it. Having Dr. Joe Schran on my board for years, that type of conversation about drugs and type of stuff like that goes.
Yes, of course. And you guys do a great job just shedding light on government meetings and government hearings, and it's very helpful to have a record to look back on. And I think folks appreciate too, if they can't make the meetings, they can then watch the recordings on their own time. So it's definitely very good for transparency. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I think you're a great asset to the town. I use the site a lot. Thank you for the recap. I too understand that you're going to have some revenue squeeze based upon your current revenue model.
Correct.
I haven't had a chance to read that bill, but thank you for bringing it to my attention. So I promise I will look into the streaming bill.
I'm more than happy to send information to all of you on it. It's a really interesting bill.
Yeah, I'd be interested if you could. Yeah. Thank you.
One other thing I want to mention, I forgot my last slide, was we are having our annual meeting / rebranding event on Tuesday the 19th at Station 8. I see you got your invitation. Excellent. So we invite you and the rest of the community to come and celebrate with us.
Awesome.
Sounds like a fun evening.
Should be, hopefully.
Is there any questions or comments, Lynn?
I have been so appreciative of the work, and Sean's smiling because he knows he sat through so many hearings going till 10:30, 11:30. I mean, crazy amount of work these guys put in to help our community. And during COVID, I honestly don't know how we would have kept business going without you. So I'm all on board with what you're doing. I'm glad to hear your branding you're growing, and the high school is thrilled that you're part of that team as well. So we're proud that you're here in Marshfield and all the hard work you do. And I'm sorry you had a couple of vacancies on your board, but I look forward to hearing great things from the new people coming on board.
We're fortunate we got some really great board members to take over those spots.
And as Jim said, the bill that you're working on to get through, I know we're all really interested in seeing how that comes to fruition for you.
Yeah.
Okay? So, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to thank Jonathan Grabowski and Sean for the great partner they have become in sharing the important information from our town government with our residents through our PEG access. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
definitely a shout out to your staff. I was with Sean some nights when in the old tape days when we actually ran out, didn't we? We actually ran out.
There were a few glitches over the years, but not many. We're not
No,
talking
we
about
went so
them.
long, there was no tape left.
Yeah, well,
Just to give you a quick story, when back in the 08, 09, when for those that were around, those old joint hearings with the advisory board and selectmen used to go really long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this was fun.
I packed, I think, 4 tapes, and I ran out of tape, and I threw them back, so.
It can happen.
It can.
Ann and Lisa, thank you so much for your patience. You guys had
Look at
to
us
sit through a
sitting
lot.
through this.
So we're going to go to action items 3 and 4, which is a discussion and vote on the end of year transfers to close out accounts, and then a discussion and vote on the authorization for bans and bonds. And I think it's a competition, Ann, between you and Sean for who has the longer drive home. He's got to go to Rhode Island and.
Oh, I think his is longer.
Yeah. All right.
Well, if you've been enjoying yourself so much, Mr. Chair, you know, we could put you later on and schedule
Thank
it. I just wanted to ask, right? We'd accommodate them if they wanted it, right?
Absolutely. So do you guys, it's probably like run-of-the-mill stuff, I know, but did you guys want to give us kind of a quick rundown on closing out the accounts and all that good stuff? Are you guys comfortable kind of?
I mean, I can if you want. The law allows us to do budget transfers at the end of the year. So I spent a good portion of today trying to get the budget in order so I knew exactly where we needed to pull money from. You guys don't have to vote the amounts. In fact, I wouldn't have the amounts until after this last warrant this week. But I did provide a list of line items that do need to be voted. However you choose to vote them is fine. You can vote, I think you could probably just vote them as presented, or you can go through the list. There's also a copy of the supplemental budget, just so you guys have a kind of an idea where we stand with everything. And if you have any questions, I apologize. I know it's small. But if you have any questions or, need to have any information, tonight or anytime, I'm available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, none on this right now, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I know you've put a lot of work into it, but we'll work through it.
Awesome. So I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the end-of-year transfers as presented by the town treasurer and town accountant to close out the books for fiscal year 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Lynn has.
If I may, just as a follow-up, so tomorrow night, the advisory board will meet, they'll vote those, and then it becomes official, so that's how we take expenses at the end of the year. You can move personnel costs into general expense into personnel to cover, so you can finish the year in the black.
Awesome, thank you.
Can I ask, is that a Zoom meeting with the advisory, or is that just?
Is it a Zoom meeting? I don't know if they posted a Zoom, I don't know. It's their meeting, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Check. Okay. And then the bans and bonds will save Lynn from having to repeat herself twice. We're running low on water, maybe.
Oh, no, I just had a tip, yeah.
So do you have any?
I'm ready to read.
Perfect. So Lynn's ready to read. Do you have any questions or comments before we do that, Jim?
No, I'm ready for further
Need to
voting.
stretch
I've read them.
before I start this?
Yeah.
Read it all twice.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, it won't be a voice.
Yeah, I can actually probably do that. So this is the vote of the Select Board. I, the clerk of the Select Board of the Town of Marshfield, Massachusetts, parens the town, certify that at a meeting of the board held July 11th, 2022, of which meeting all members of the board were duly notified and at which a quorum was present, the following votes were unanimously passed, all of which appear upon the official record of the board in my custody. Voted that the sale of the $6,345,000 general obligation municipal purpose loan of 2022 bonds of the town dated July 21st, 2022, the bonds, to Fidelity Capital Markets, a division of National Financial Services, LLC, at the price of $7,040,281.35, and accrued interest, if any, is hereby approved and confirmed. The bonds shall be payable on July 15th of the years and in principal amounts and bear interest at the respective rates as follows. And we have column 1, year, column 2, amount, column 3, interest rate, column 4, year, column 5, amount, and column 6, interest rate. And I'm going to just read them across and zip through this. 2023, 345,000, rate 5%. Year 2033, amount 190,000, rate 5%. Year 2024, 490,000, rate 5%. Year 2034, amount 195,000, interest rate 5. Year 2025, 525,000, 5 interest rate. Year 2035, again 205,000 with an interest rate of 5%. Year 2026, 555,000, interest rate 5%. Year 2036, 210,000, 4%. Year 2027, 485,000, interest rate 5%. Year 2037, 185,000, interest rate 4%. Year 2028, amount 390,000, interest rate 5%. Year 2038, 185,000, 4%. Year 2029, 405,000, 5%. Year 2039, 195,000, 4%. Year 2030, 415,000, 5%. Year 2040, 200,000, 4%. Year 2031, 445,000, 5%. Year 2041, 210,000, 4%. 2032, 300,000, 5%. And finally, 2042, 215,000, 4%. Again, I read that as the schedule. Further voted that in connection with the marketing and sale of the bonds, the preparation and distribution of a notice of sale in preliminary official statement dated June 29, 2022, and a final official statement dated July 7, 2022, parens the official statement. Each in such form as may be approved by the town treasurer, be and hereby are ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further voted that the bonds shall be subject to redemption at the option of the town upon such terms and conditions as are set forth in the official statement. Further voted that the town treasurer and select board be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver continuing disclosure and undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the bonds for the benefit of the holders of the bonds from time to time. Further voted that we authorize and direct the town treasurer to establish post-insurance federal tax compliance procedures and continuing disclosure procedures in such forms as the town treasurer and bond counsel deem sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor, maintain the tax exempt status of the bonds and to comply with relevant security laws. Further voted that any certificates or documents relating to the bonds collectively, the documents, may be executed in several counterparts, each of which shall be regarded as an original and all of which shall constitute one and the same document. Delivery of an executed counterpart of a signature page to a document by electronic mail in a PDF file or by other electronic transmission shall be as effective as delivery of a manual executed counterpart signature page to such document. And electronic signatures on any of the documents shall be deemed original signatures for the purpose of the documents in all matters relating thereto having the same legal effect as original signatures. Further voted that each member of the select board, the town clerk, and the town treasurer be and hereby are authorized to take any and such actions and execute and deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them or any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes. Almost done, one paragraph left. I further certify that the votes were taken at a meeting open to the public, that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that a notice stating that the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filed with the town clerk, and a copy thereof posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or on the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or, if applicable, in accordance with an alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General, as set forth in 940 CMR 29.03 2B, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting, and remain so posted at the time of the meeting, that no deliberations or decisions in connection with the sale of the bonds were taken in executive session, all in accordance with General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 18 through 25, as amended, today dated July 11th, 2022, Clerk of the Select Board.
All right, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the sale of bonds as approved by our finance team of Hilltop Securities, and as it was just read into the record by our colleague and clerk, Lynn Fiddler. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Sean, you still awake? You still with us?
No. I just want to say, just congratulations to the town, because we went to market at a very good time. The bond market was high at that moment, so
Yeah.
great timing. We got 8 bidders, competitive bidding, so we had a great true interest cost of 3.046520%. So we really hit it good. That's all I have to say.
That's
Thank
huge,
you.
yeah.
Look at the current environment.
I know. And the FA was ecstatic with what we got.
So we got a great deal for the town.
Yeah, very good.
And then they upheld a AA plus one
Yeah.
in short-term borrowing, which is tremendous, so.
Yes.
That's awesome. It has a
Yeah.
huge positive ripple effect.
That's
Yes.
key to the rates.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for coming in and waiting patiently.
And I see Jim signing away, so good job.
And Mr. Chair, if I may, I just want to say thank you to both Ian and Lisa. New to their positions here in the town, they've stepped up and they've been doing a huge amount of work to get things in order and up to speed for the end of the fiscal year.
Awesome. Thanks,
Well,
Michael. Thank you
really
both.
helped a lot. A lot.
Thank you.
It's great. One of the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you both.
All right,
Let you get home and get dinner or a cocktail or.
Bowl of cereal in bed.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to get to action item number 1, which is a discussion and vote on annual reappointments. So we have Heidi Conway to the Board of Appeals, Cindy Lee McTiernan to the Housing Partnership, and Keith Rice to the Recreation Trails Committee. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, great reappointments. No questions, no comments. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to reappoint Heidi Conway to the Board of Appeals, Cindy Lee McTiernan to the Housing Partnership, and Keith Rice to the Recreation Trails Committee. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. All right, so we bounced around a little bit. I think next up we have number 11, which is discussion and vote for a temporary common vic license for the Marshfield Fair. And that one, again, you know, per usual, all our paperwork is in order and things of that nature. Did you want to add any additional context, Michael?
You are correct. Everything's in order, and no sense of belaboring. They're all set with the Board of Health.
Awesome. Well, you got cereal to eat. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Except I think everyone loves cannolis and everyone loves
Yes.
fried dough, so no, I'm good for this one.
Any questions or comments, Lynn? All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the following common vic licenses to the following businesses for the Marshfield Fair that will run from August 19th through August 28th, 2022. The Boston Cannoli Company, Peter Caracolis, and Bruno's Fried Dough. Margaret Oaks. The board further moves to approve any additional common vicar licenses for the Marshfield Fair contingent on receipt of all necessary paperwork and the fees being paid and approval by the Board of Health. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we got 12 up next, and that's basically a public entertainment license for 2 Sundays for the Marshfield Fair Association. They're looking to do a little fiesta show. Do you have any additional context you wanted to add, Michael?
So that is under the Massachusetts general laws. with the amusements and stuff in the arcades, they have to have a Sunday entertainment license, so that's what this will allow them to operate the musical rides and the games on Sundays.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No questions, no comments, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve a public entertainment license for 2 Sundays, August 21st and August 28th, starting at noon, both days at the Marshfield Fairgrounds for the fair for Fiesta Show / Marshfield Fair Association. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. Next up, it kind of makes sense to go in tandem. We've got the commercial parking permits for the Marshfield Fair. That one's pretty straightforward, and the permit is for the Marshfield Friends of Music. And Nancy Bowers is going to help with that at the Grace Rider Field on Main Street for the Marshfield Fair. Did you have any additional context you wanted to add, Michael?
That's just very standard. The Friends of Music and the sports boosters, they swap off. So this year, the Friends of Music have the Grace Rider, and the boosters have South River School, and the proceeds that they collect go to fund their respective programs.
Great, thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Great causes, no.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve a parking permit for the Marshfield Friends of Music, Nancy Bowers for the Grace Rider Field, located on Main Street for the Marshfield Fair, August 19th through 28th, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and on the heels of Michael's feedback, we got the boosters up next. Same deal. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve a parking permit for the MHS Athletic Boosters. Kanisa Rand for the South River School, located on South River Street for the Marshfield Fair, August 19th through August 28th, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and action item number 14, it's the discussion and vote on authorizing our town administrator to spend ARPA funds on COVID-19 testing and to use ARPA funds to match FEMA grants. Do you want to give us kind of the rundown on that one, Michael?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an annual article that we bring forward. The necessity for that is so that we can continue to run the clinic. We get reimbursement at 90% rate, and we cover the 10% rate by being able to use ARPA funds at a future date and time. We'll come before and request some additional ARPA funds now that we've got a new tranche of money from the federal government.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Just, could you also help explain on the FEMA grant match?
So the FEMA grant, so we have to match it's a 10% VIG. So it's 90% and then 10%. And the 10% comes from the ARPA funds.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that everyone understood that. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, I'll go ahead and make a motion that the town administrator is authorized to spend ARPA funds on the public health emergency related to COVID-19 to address the safety and well-being of the community. It is further moved that the town administrator may use ARPA funds to match any FEMA grant currently ongoing in the town, and he is to instruct the town accountant to issue a purchase order to encumber and identify the appropriate amount needed in cooperation with our ARPA coordinator. Minutes of this vote are to be kept on file and submitted to FEMA at the appropriate time. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 15, so Stellwagen Beer is just looking for an extension of their premises, and it looks like, I think it's an anniversary party, Michael?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman. So they're having their anniversary party. They want to move to the front of the building. The board would need to approve that. They have necessary, they've squared off, put the necessary safety network up so that people don't leave from that front area and go anywhere else. That's going to impact their handicap parking. They have 2 handicap parking spaces. They've moved their handicap parking spaces, and they put appropriate signage up on the side of the building to accommodate the 2 displaced parking spaces.
Great, thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Looks like a fun 4th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, definitely. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve an extension on premises for Stellwagen Beer at 100 Enterprise Drive for Saturday, July 16th, 2022, from noon to 11 p.m., and Sunday, July 17th, from noon to 11 p.m., for in front of the building with all appropriate measures taken to secure this area and to have the necessary signage. The displaced handicap parking spaces are to be relocated to designated spots as close as can be to the entrance. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, number 16. This is very exciting. We're going to approve the date for the special town meeting warrant. And that's pretty much it. Do you have anything you want to add, Michael?
No, it's, we do it now to put people on notice. I mean, it is the summer, we give them as much leeway as possible.
Yeah.
We always have our special town meeting around the 18th and 19th of October. That then sets in play, in the charter that sets in play, we'll have the joint meeting in September. I think it's the, don't know what my calendar, but it's about the 20th. And we'll have the warrant out the week before that, because since I've been here, I made that commitment. They would always have the warrant available online and in print. So we'll do that, and the warrant opens and closes. It will close on the, it's open for 10 days, so it closes on the 18th at 4 o'clock. Close of business at Town Hall.
Yeah, you've always been great about posting the warrant well in advance so folks have time to look through it and ask any questions in advance. They don't always take us up on that and wait until they get to town meeting to ask questions we could have addressed well in advance to respect everyone's time, but, you know, we can always try.
It used to not be available until the actual date, to the day of the joint hearing, so now it gives them an extra week.
Yeah, so if folks have any questions, please ask them in advance so that we can get done in one night, and more folks will probably be encouraged to attend town meeting if it didn't take so long. So did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, just mark your calendars, October 17th, and Michael, I do applaud you. Transparency in government is always a good thing.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the date for the special town meeting for Monday, October 17th, 2022, at the Marshfield High School Auditorium or Gymnasium at 7 p.m. In accordance with the Charter, Article 2 through 4, notice is hereby given that the warrant for the special town meeting shall open for submission of warrant articles on Monday, August 8th, 2022. Articles shall be submitted to the Select Board's office. The special town meeting warrant will close on Thursday, August 18th, 2022 at 4 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
All right, perfect. So, let's see. We
Just
took
slow
care of-
down, Mr. Chairman, we said we wouldn't get out until 9, okay?
Yeah, it's like, I could do that. So we took care of 17, that was Pelican Snowball. 18 and 19, we're going to move to the 25th. We got some stuff.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
19, we're gonna move the associate.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So just the associates, so we can tackle the other portion
Yeah.
of number 19.
Yep.
Great. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I do not. We're talking about 19 now, right?
Correct, yep, and it's...
Yes, on the ZBA. Yes, no, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I think Grover's shown he can definitely take this position as a full voting member, and I'm in favor of this appointment.
Awesome. Thanks, Lynn. All right, so I'll go ahead and move to appoint a current associate member, Grover Hensley, and we're going to move him to fill the position as a full-time voting member that was vacated by Chris Belezos. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I could have phrased that better for you, so apologies for taking notes on that motion. All right, number 20, very exciting stuff. We've got some items to declare equipment and furniture as surplus for auction or destruction. Did you have any, actually, Michael, do you want to give us the rundown?
Sure. So a lot of the furniture, there's pictures for people to look at. There's broken desks, there's broken chairs, bookcases, etc. A bulk of it came from the police station, so we're getting ready to tear the building down. There's no use for the stuff. It's broken. That will be automatically put into a rubbish and disposed of appropriately. Some of the good stuff we'll auction off. If nonprofits are interested in any desk, chairs, bookcases, or tables, they can contact, and we're happy to share the stuff with them. And anything that's good, we'll try to sell. If it's not sold, we try to give it away, and if not, then it just gets discarded.
Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Yes, Stephen, I do notice on the second page, top left picture, there is a clock.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we've had problems with our clock, Michael.
That one doesn't work.
Oh, that one doesn't work either? All right.
But it's still right twice a day,
no,
right?
No further questions.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the attached list of items as surplus or broken furniture from the Board of Health. the police department and building departments for another department to be sold, destroyed, or given to a nonprofit group if requested. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and our last one, number 21. That's a pretty special thing that a local resident got the ball rolling on, Michael, and that's for a 9/11 ceremony at the Boys and Girls Club of Marshfield. Do you want to give us kind of the rundown and background?
Yes, so, two things. One, it would be a joint venture between the Board of Selectmen and the Boys and Girls Club, so, if, in the motion, if we can just say that the selectmen will be sponsors of that.
Yep.
It is very special because it's the 9/11 flag. They'll be flying the 9/11 flag. I ordered one here for Town Hall to be flown.
Yep.
Boys and Girls Club get 2 flag poles, so they'll be flying them. It's gonna take place at 12 noon, and we'll have a ceremony. We're gonna involve some kids from the Boys and Girls Club to actually read the names. There are bios attached to all the names that we're gonna put into a booklet to hand out to folks. We're not gonna read all that. We're just gonna be reading the names that day. And hopefully, the 3 selectmen would read some names. And we'll have other people, so depending on how many volunteers, you might read 1 name, you might read 3 or 4 names. And there's 65 people from Massachusetts that perished, either in the collapse of the Twin Towers or days later from, health issues related to that. And we're gonna tie in like an educational component piece for the kids, and we're looking at things like, positive service days to do something, some type of service to a town organization, et cetera, but more information to follow, but we wanted to get this out. I wanted to get it on the agenda so that people were aware of it. They could mark their calendar. The fire department usually does something in the morning. This will be at high noon at the Boys and Girls Club at the Morley Pavilion right behind the club and near the pool. And we're looking to make it, even though it's very solemn, we'll be looking to have, we may reach out and get some food trucks there to provide refreshments for folks also.
Yeah, this is all great stuff, and it's nice that we can have an even bigger commemoration of this event than we have historically, and to make sure that we educate a lot of kids these days who probably have no life experience.
Kids weren't born,
recollection.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, precisely. So that's great, and we appreciate the Boys and Girls Club, being a location and partnering with us. And just want to make sure we recognize Miss Nikki Shiro,
Yes.
who did a lot of the groundwork for this. And we appreciate her help for reaching out and moving this forward. And just want to note that Marshfield's been selected as one of 75 communities designated as a lead public memorial location in America for the 2nd annual 9/11 Day Flag of Honors across America memorials. So that's pretty cool to be one of 75 locations picked. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
It was a horrific day. I think it's a day that we can't forget. If we don't remember history, we will repeat it. It changed every person's life in the United States of America after that, whether they were born or not. What they're living in today is a world as a result of that day. I was about, 5 or 6 minutes from going over the GW Bridge, and I saw the smoke coming out of the towers, and we were diverted to New Jersey. We weren't able to get into New York, so it affected me quite a bit that day, and so this is a wonderful thing to do, so.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, it's just, I'll be bringing my tissues, I'm sure. It's such a solemn day. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the event sponsorship between the Select Board and the Boys and Girls Club for the 9/11 Flag of Honor Across America Memorials for September 11th, 2022 at the Boys and Girls Club at noon. This event is to include the reading of the names from Massachusetts that perished in the Twin Towers. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so I think we tackled all of the action items, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I would second that, but I still am disappointed.
Jim wants to stay until 9.
I am disappointed because I had projected 9.
Excellent. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect.